Why do I have everything but still feel like something's missing? Hello, everybody. My name is Amy and I am your empowerment coach. And today we're going to be talking about why do you have everything but still feel like something's missing? It's because you are not fulfilled. Internally, inside of you, you are not fulfilled. And that's okay because society teaches us that when we're little kids, it starts when we're really little, right? That you have to grow up and you have to get married and have the nice house and the picket fence and the big backyard and the two kids and the dog and all of these things. And when you have all of these things, life is going to be so great, and the kids are going to be running in the backyard, and you're going to be standing there with your significant other, and life is just going to be good. And for some of you, that might be true. That might be how life is, and it might be good. However, for me, it didn't turn out like that. Like, I had all of that stuff, but I still felt small. I still felt like there was more for me. Like there had to be more than this, because I was seeking the validation of what society tells me I need to have to be happy, instead of looking inside of me and deciding, what do I really need to be happy? You see this all the time. You see people and you're like, wow, they look like they had the perfect life. And I remember even for my marriage, everybody's like, wow, I didn't even know anything was wrong. And I'm like, yep, there was plenty wrong because my husband was labeled as a good guy. And even me, I stayed for a lot longer than I should have because he was such a good guy and I didn't want to hurt him. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here dying inside. And not saying that he was killing me, but the relationship did not offer me the things that I had set in place for my life were not serving me. Having an emotional and spiritual and mental connection with someone is so much more important to me than all these luxuries of life. Like, what do all those luxuries mean to me? What did all of those mean if I didn't have somebody that I could talk to, someone who would understand where I was mentally and try to lift me up and make me better? I mean, not that there was anything wrong with my ex-husband, because I think that he's a good guy, but I just needed more out of the relationship. But I looked at what society told me I should go after and look for, instead of what I needed myself. And how many of us really do that? Um, so there are two different kinds of validation, right? We have external and internal. External is like people, places, things, society, or family. Our family. I remember my grandpa telling my mom when I was a kid, "Oh, the first time you married for love, and look what happened. My dad was an alcoholic that beat my mom." And then he's like, "So next time you get married, you better marry for money." And I always remember that sticking out to me. And I was like, okay, well, I ended up marrying the first marriage. I ended up marrying for love. I got married when I was 18. Did not last any time at all. The second one, I wouldn't say I married for money, but I did move up in my social status. I had came from a poor family and now I was in a middle class environment. And I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I thought those were the natural progressive steps. But internally, that's not what I needed. Internally, I needed some validation for myself. I needed to know that what I want in life matters, right? So, a lot of times, what we'll do is we'll look at what everybody else has in life and think, hey, we need this for ourselves. But there has to be something said about spending time with yourself and actually finding what it is that makes you feel fulfilled. That little spot in you that feels empty, like, hey, there should be something else here, there should be something bigger, that may come because you don't know who you are anymore. You've kind of outgrown who you are. So, how do you find who you are and what's going to make you happy? What's going to make you what's going to make you fulfilled? It's going to be spending time with yourself. It's going to be taking time journaling about what you might like to do or what you liked when you were younger, and then taking time to do those things. Try once a month to go and try a new hobby, like go do a sip and paint, or maybe you go with some friends and do a workout class, or maybe you find a group that does hiking and you go hiking. Whatever it is that you think, hey, this might be of some interest to me, and maybe even some things that might not be of interest to you. How many times have you tried something and you're like, this is going to be horrible, and then you try it and you're like, it's not so bad. So taking time with yourself and like really learning, what is it that I want to do? What do I think might make me feel good? What do I think might be fun for myself? And then going and trying those things, right? Because how are you going to know if you like them unless you try? And those might be the little things that actually make you feel more fulfilled, right? When you're living in who you are and when you're doing the things that make you happy. And then the final thing after you figure out what it is you want to do, spend some time trying to decide, and that you start trying these activities is gratitude. Gratitude is so important. I know that sometimes it's hard, but even the littlest things can bloom into something big. You know, when I have a hard time thinking of something of like a gratitude thing, I always am like, well, I am thankful that I had a bed to sleep in and that it was nice and warm, or I'm glad that I have a roof over my head, or I'm glad that I have food in the refrigerator. You know, even those little simple tiny things that everybody's like, oh, those that's just kind of what it is. There are people that don't have food in their refrigerator. There are people that don't have a comfortable bed. And if you can learn to start appreciating those things and appreciating who you are as a person, that's going to make you feel so much more fulfilled. So, do some journaling, find out what you like, what's going to make you happy. Start doing it and then be thankful and show gratitude for these new things that you're learning about yourself. And before you know it, you're going to be living a fulfilled life. My name is Amy, and I'm your empowerment coach. And if you are ready to start your empowerment coach journey, working with a coach, and you are ready to start finding out what it is that's going to set your soul on fire, how can I feel fulfilled? Send me a message and let's see if I can help you. You guys have an amazing day, and I will see you next week.